is one of the most misunderstood human emotions. There are many negative connotations attached to anger, such as that it's an intimidating, uncomfortable, or even offensive emotion to express. But the truth is that anger is just as normal and essential as emotions like joy or sadness. The key is to just know how to express anger in a healthy way, and this can be done by first understanding what lies underneath our anger. Imagine an iceberg where, at the tip of the iceberg is your anger, but the tip of the iceberg is such a small part compared to the rest of the iceberg, which means that the anger that manifests is a product of something much bigger. The rest of the iceberg, which remains hidden underwater, is where all the other negative feelings that are connected to anger reside. And if they continue to remain hidden, they continue to grow and fester, turning the anger that manifests into a destructive experience. So if we really want to better manage our anger, we need to first address and work through these other underlying negative feelings that are associated with the anger, whether that may be guilt, loneliness, insecurity, shame, disappointment, fear, grief, or whatever else. Now, as far as other practical things you can do to help alleviate the negative impacts that anger could have on you, I'd like to share with you 7 strategies that can help you achieve that. Strategy number 1 is to identify and understand your triggers and warning signs. This could be a particular person or situation. Once you know what triggers your anger, try to then understand why they're triggers for you. Many times, our strong emotional reactions are not so much about the immediate situation that we're in, but instead are more deeply rooted in past negative experiences or traumas that we haven't quite healed from. Ideally, you could work towards avoiding or minimizing your triggers, but that isn't always possible, and so it's worthwhile to learn to respond to your triggers in a healthier way. Which brings me to strategy number 2, and that is to practice relaxation techniques. Relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or yoga, for example, can be very effective in managing anger because they help to calm the mind and body and reduce the physiological arousal that's often associated with anger. Practicing relaxation techniques regularly can also help to build resilience and increase the stress tolerance, which makes it easier to cope with stressors that might otherwise trigger uncontrollable anger. Strategy number 3 is to use cognitive restructuring. Cognitive restructuring involves changing the way you think about a situation in order to reduce the intensity of your emotional response. It's important to realize that our own thought patterns can sometimes be triggers for anger in and of themselves. And while we may not always have total control over our anger, practicing cognitive restructuring can help reduce the intensity of our reactions. Now, that's not to say that you'll be able to fully get rid of your negative thoughts, but you will at least be able to introduce alternative, flexible thoughts alongside your negative thoughts. For instance, your initial negative thought might be, "This is unfair," which would then likely feed into your anger. Recognize this and then try to introduce an alternative thought, such as, "This is challenging, but I can figure out a way to handle it." By actively and intentionally reframing your thoughts, you can reduce the emotions that are associated with anger. And the more that you're able to practice flexible, constructive thinking, the less limited you will feel and the less likely that your anger will feel all-consuming. Strategy number 4 is to engage in physical activity. Physical activity such as exercise or sports can be a great way to release pent-up anger and frustration. When you engage in physical activity, your body releases endorphins, which are natural feel-good hormones and mood elevators that can help to reduce stress and anger. Think of physical activity as one of many potential healthy outlets for your anger. Strategy number 5 is to practice assertive communication. Assertive communication involves expressing your feelings and needs in a clear, direct, and respectful way. By communicating assertively, you can reduce misunderstandings and conflicts that can trigger your anger. Now, this is not the same thing as being conflict avoidant, since conflict is sometimes inevitable. But conflict can be addressed in a healthy, assertive, and non-aggressive way, which means that it's important to not just express your perspective, but to also hear the other person's opinions instead of immediately shutting them down for disagreeing with you. Strategy number 6 is to take a time out. when you feel yourself becoming angry, it can be helpful to take a time out to cool down. This could involve taking a few deep breaths, going for a walk, or engaging in another activity that helps you to relax. Once you've calmed down, you can then return to the situation with a clearer mind. For some of us, though, it is difficult to let things be for a little while, since we might feel the need to fix the problem right away. But it's important in that case to keep the bigger picture in mind and to be aware of what's more effective. Remaining in a situation that is elevating your anger without taking a break will likely perpetuate the issue and make you angrier. And lastly, strategy number 7 is to seek professional help. Sometimes doing things on our own proves to be difficult or ineffective. Now, this doesn't mean that you're a failure, but it does mean that it's human nature to sometimes need help. So if your anger is causing you problems in your relationships or interfering with your daily life, and you just can't seem to get it under control on your own, then it may be time to seek professional help. A therapist or counselor can help you identify the underlying causes of your anger and develop strategies for managing it in a healthier way. Remember, anger can be a powerful emotion, but it's still possible to have a healthy relationship with it. So just make sure to give yourself permission to allow for this possibility into your life, to allow yourself to adopt a different mindset towards your anger. And also remember that your mindset is the ultimate game changer in your life. So if you like the content in this video and want to see more like it, then I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.